You don't expect betrayal at this stage in life. Not after all you've seen. Not after the years you've survived. The wars. Literal and emotional. The heartbreaks. The careers. The funerals. The holidays where someone was always missing. By the time you're in your late 50s, early 60s, you like to think you've earned some kind of peace. A rhythm, a routine, a truth that feels solid beneath your feet. But that's the lie, isn't it? That age protects you from pain. It doesn't. Sometimes the deepest cuts come after you've stopped looking over your shoulder. I'm going to tell you a story. A true one. No names, no faces. Because it could be anyone. Your neighbor, your friend, your sister, you. They trusted someone. A financial advisor, let's say. Let's keep it simple. A longtime friend. A familiar voice. Someone who said all the right things. Played the long game, never asked for too much. Never pushed too fast. They met at a community event, nothing fancy. He complimented her on her watch. She liked that. They started talking. She mentioned she was recently widowed. He was respectful, patient, asked nothing. Just listened. 2 months later, she was showing him her portfolio. You don't notice the con when it's happening. That's how the good ones work. He never asked for anything directly. He offered to help. A few suggestions. A couple of adjustments. Nothing big at first, just nudges, better returns, safer diversifications. Then came the trust documents, the limited power of attorney, the joint venture. She signed them. Of course she did. He'd already made her $10,000 in 6 weeks. What no one tells you is that betrayal doesn't feel like an explosion. It's not loud. It's not dramatic. It's slow, quiet, surgical. By the time she realized something was off, her accounts had been drained across 3 jurisdictions. Her pension was gone. The deed to her house had been temporarily transferred into a holding company. And the man vanished. No emails, no trail, no trace. But here's where the story turns. It wasn't just her. That's the part that keeps me up at night. He'd done it before. At least 4 times. Always older women. Always recently widowed or divorced. Always under the radar. He knew exactly how to pick them. The ones with grace, with dignity, with just enough loneliness to make them vulnerable. He wasn't after millions. That's the twisted brilliance. He only ever took enough to stay under prosecutorial thresholds. He weaponized charm. He used empathy like a scalpel. He made trust his currency, and he spent it well. But then he made a mistake. A small one. He reused an email alias. Just once. A burner Gmail with a typo in the name. Someone flagged it. Turns out an investigator had been tracking him for years. A private fraud analyst whose own mother had been one of his first targets. No badge, no uniform, just obsession. And a list with names. And guess what? He was on it. The woman I had told you about, she was the last one added before the mirror cracked. Here's the part no one wants to hear. She didn't get the money back. Not most of it. Fraud laws are murky when the victim signed willingly. The banks shrugged. The legal system stalled. And he moved on. To another coast, another name, another life. But she did something else. Something quiet. Something powerful. She went public. She told her story. In community centers, in retirement groups, in church basements and book clubs, wherever older adults gathered, she showed up with documents, screenshots, photos, and silence-breaking honesty. And slowly, the story spread. This isn't just a story about money. It's a story about what betrayal really means. It's when someone weaponizes your better instincts, your trust, your generosity, your hope. And here's the truth. Betrayal after 55 doesn't cut lighter. It cuts deeper. Because by then, you believe you've earned your safety. That's what makes it cruel. But if there's a lesson here, it's this. Silence is where betrayal lives. But stories are how we kill it. So if this happened to you, or someone you know, speak up. Name the pain. Break the pattern. Because you're not alone. And you're not broken. You were targeted. There's a difference. This was her story. But it could have been mine. It could have been yours. And maybe next time, it won't be. Unless we start paying attention before the mirror cracks again.